Type of welding passes procedure. 1. Root pass refers to the first pass in any welding process, which combines two pieces or members into one structure. Subsequent passes increase the weld depth to the desired thickness, yielding the necessary strength. The first pass usually provides the base for subsequent filler passes. In order to execute a proper root pass, attention must be paid to both technique and welding parameters. The welder must maintain a steady hand and use the correct amount of heat and pressure to fuse the metals together. If too much heat is applied, the metal can become distorted or even melt through. Too little heat will result in an incomplete weld that does not achieve full penetration. Common problems that can occur during the root pass include incomplete penetration, lack of fusion, porosity, and slag inclusion. Incomplete penetration occurs when the weld bead does not extend all the way through the thickness of the metal. 2. The hot pass is a technique which helps resurface the root pass and make it usable without a lot of grinding and clean up of the weld. Some welders employ the hot pass over the root pass every time, whether it needs it or not, which typically won't hurt anything if it is done correctly. A hot pass should not be blistering hot. Rather, it should be just a few amps over the root pass. It should use enough amps though to melt out the top of the root pass and reshape the convex weld into a concave one, where the sides of the weld flow down toward the center of the weld, and where they weld is smooth on the surface. With the hot pass, though, too much amperage is a danger because it will create a heat-affected zone in the root of the weld. Carrying too much heat into the root will cause the weld to become brittle and will be a breaking point when stress is applied. A hot pass should be rapid, and just enough metal should be deposited to dish the weld sides out, making it concave. Applying too much weld metal only creates another full pass, which may be run to hot. The idea of the hot pass includes helping to push out root passes that may have some suckback, because as the weld progresses, a true hot pass makes the thin root pass become molten again and sink down. This sinking down actually forces the bottom of the root pass out a little further. Fill, also referred to as a fill pass. It is the amount of weld bead necessary to fill the weld joint. This pass comes after the root pass and before the cap pass. The filler pass is the third and final pass made during welding before the capping pass, and its purpose is to add additional filler metal to the weld joint. So, fill pass's objective is to fill the welding joint with weld metal. The final pass of a weld joint is called the cap pass. This pass is used to cover the entire weld joint with a layer of weld metal, providing protection against oxidation and contamination. The cap pass is also used to create a smooth, aesthetically pleasing finish on the weld joint. Weld capping, final pass not exceeding allowable tolerances specified by welding codes, standards on height of reinforcement, underfill porosities, undercut cracks, cold laps. 2. Uniformity of bead ripples must be in accordance with welding standards. 3. Stringer or layered beads deposited in accordance with welding standards. 4. Finish weldment visually acceptable in accordance with welding standards. 4. Spatter arc strikes. Slagiformity. Prepare before start welding works. Welding machine with accessories. Extension cable. Portable grinder. Qualifications ID WPS. PPE used in welding works includes gloves, aprons, long-sleeved gowns, goggles, fluid repellent surgical masks, face visors and respirator, welding masks, consumables, materials for welding work, store process, filler wire, cutting disc, argon, collet tube, collet body, ceramic cup, etc.